Greetings, beloved. It's your boy, John, aka Jah'Preme. Once again with another video. Just want to rap with y'all real quick. Thank y'all for tuning in and subscribing so far. All the love and all the shares and likes are very, very deeply appreciated. Even though I don't do it for that purpose, it's still appreciated, it's greatly appreciated. And I just like to thank you all because, of course, I need views to continue going on YouTube. Not going to be long as usual. Just enjoying this beautiful day as the sun shines upon me and I'm breathing and I'm above ground. It's a beautiful thing to be. It was just laid on my heart to talk about plant preachers. Actually, plant leaders in general. Plant preachers, plant leaders, and plant leadership, and the direction that the world is shifting into. And if you're not careful and you don't have a spirit of discernment, you will get caught in the wrath of plant leadership. Plant leadership is an agenda. These leaders are not called by the Creator, they're called by man. They're called by man, and they're on a payroll that is against the Most High. They don't get paid, they're not sent by the Creator, they're not sent by the Most High. Nothing about them is sincere. Nothing about them is about the Father's business. The only purpose they serve is to keep the masses blinded from the truth, as it has been for the longest. Plant leadership is nothing new. They've experimented with plant leadership for a long time. They needed to get certain leaders out of the way, Malcolm, Martin. They needed to get certain leaders out of the way, Dick Gregory, Dr. Sabi, in order for plant leadership to strive, because the leaders that were actually called had too much influence and power. There's a few people that snuck into the entertainment door that practiced leadership, but in that field, it's too much plant leadership, it's too much influence for evil. Now, in 2024, we have over-sexualized youths, LGBTQ. We have the feminist agenda, AI, and all of these things are coming from different angles. And all of these things that they're coming at the masses with are powerful, and too powerful for one man to fathom or to conquer by himself. That is why Martin and Malcolm would have had to unite and join forces, because plant leadership and evil devices had too much power and influence for them to conquer the masses by themselves. And when I say conquer the masses, I mean conquer their souls from being lost, conquer their way of thinking, to rebuke evil, shun evil. That was the whole purpose of what they were doing. But yet, in 2024, we deal with entertainment. Everybody wants to be entertained. And plant leadership, what it does is they study the masses, they study their diet, their frequencies, they study their way of thinking. Basically, they spy on all of us. All of us are being monitored, right? And in 2024, in order to conquer plant leadership, plant pastors, your pastor, by the way, he's a bitch ass nigga. Let's start with that. He's a bitch ass nigga. Why? He takes your money that you work hard for, or whatever you do for your money, that you grind for, that you had to go out and get the butter from the duck from. While he sits back and uses the Bible to profit and to feed his own belly. That is not all pastors. I said plant leadership. That is the title of this video. Plant leadership. Pay attention. Plant leaders. They have the big synagogues full of people, filled with souls, and they prey on those souls. They keep those souls attracted to that synagogue for the purpose of financial gain and power. What do you need to be powerful? You need to monetize yourself. YouTube. YouTube leaders, they're the second on the bitch ass nigga list, right? And for those of you who feel like these words are too strong, you're not the only one that's watching these videos. There are youths who are relatable. There are people who are relatable to what I'm saying, and I'm relatable to what I'm saying. So please, I would deeply appreciate if you would just pay attention to the actual message and not the words that I'm using. Because if you want to be truthful, all words have spells, right? You just have to cast them in a good way. Now, YouTube leaders, the conscious leaders that use the Black Lives Matter era to monetize themselves, to become rich, to become more powerful. All of a sudden, they just disappeared. At least the pastors, they're sticking around because they know that the souls that they attract, that the souls that gravitate towards their synagogue and their teachings, they're not going anywhere because they're lost sheep. So they think, right? But you don't have to be a lost sheep. The only way a plant leader can be powerful is if you choose to remain blind, if you choose to remain lost, and you choose not to be saved. That's the only way a plant leader can operate and be powerful and monetize from your hard work and your earnings. It's the only way they can profit. It's the only way. Yes, plant leadership exists. Yes, plant leadership is very present and very relevant to today's times. They don't preach against actual sins. They don't preach the truth, the actual truth. They use partial truths so that your soul can gravitate to their teachings so they can monetize off of you. Be very careful. Be very careful. And some plant leaders, I have to be honest with you, some of them, they did not start out as plant leaders, but they weren't careful because they were still lost. And they didn't pay attention and they didn't use the spirit of discernment. When you go to these synagogues, these churches, and these mosques, because Islam is not excluded, and it's not all, but if you would listen to what I'm saying, you would get what I'm saying. If you were going to these mosques, these temples, and these synagogues with the spirit of discernment, you will not be lost. You will know when to move. You will know to remove yourself from these mosques, temples, and synagogues, right? You can't sit underneath plant leadership and not be a plant. Seed offerings, mission offerings, love offerings, They just put titles on offerings, and all they do is monetize, 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 while you remain further in the hole. You call that same pastor right now, and you tell him your financial problems. He'll look at you, and he will simply say, well, brother, let me pray for you. You did not pray for him when you gave him that money in that bucket, did you? Okay. So he can't help you financially, but he can help you spiritually. But he can gain from you financially. He can gain from you financially, but he can't help you financially. That's a false leader. That's a plant leader. That's somebody who does not care about you, your well-being, or your family, or your household. This is who you let pray for you. This is who you let teach you and feed you. They're not giving you the bread of life. That bread is stale. They're giving you molded bread. That's not the bread of life. That's not a true teacher and a true leader. A true teacher and a true leader is an example. Their life is an example. They display their life. They live their lifestyle openly before the masses. How they live is how they talk and how they walk. That's a true leader. It's a true leader. But you that choose to sit under plant leadership, you that go to these false temples, chapels, synagogues, whatever the case may be, mosques, camps, whatever you choose to religiously be under, wherever you go to worship, wherever you serve your religious purposes at, it's a choice. You don't have to sit under that kind of leadership. They're plants. They were sent to distract you. And now, they don't even have to pay them. They don't even have to send them, because they're willingly leading you into the ditch, because they're blind. And that's the whole purpose. They put plant leaders in place to reproduce more plant leaders, so that plant leaders can continue to be strong amongst the masses and preach falsehood to keep the people blind, because they need the people to fall into the ditch. And that, my friends, is how you depopulate a nation. That's how you depopulate a nation. That's how you get them poisonous vaccines. That's how you tax them. You tax them falsely with no true, meaningful purpose. They tax us. They rape us. They program us. And they control us through plant leadership. We must, in this day and time, use a spirit of discernment and have a spirit of discernment. We must meditate, and we also must be careful who we listen to. We must manifest spirits of discernment so that we won't be lost and we will be saved from the evil plagues, from the evildoers and their hands and their works, which is the world. See, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. The world is just the beings that dwell in it, and their cultures and their traditions. The world and the earth are separate. They are not the same. So when you have worldly leaders, world leaders, that's what they call themselves, world leaders. They're plants. They're plants. They get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars so that you can stay blind, so that you can be a happy sheep led to slaughter. Be very careful. Manifest a spirit of discernment, not just money and riches and all of the things that pass away when you leave this world. A true spirit of discernment that'll help you that'll lead you and guide you to the right people and the right leadership that you need to be under, or if you need to lead yourself, or if you are called to lead yourself, that you will answer the call and be chosen. It's your boy Jah'Preme. Stay up, be safe, stay dangerous. I'm out. Peace, love, and unity. Be careful and be aware.